Alright, we should be live any second. There we go. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Chris, and this is my channel, Bar911970, and I got an important video I want you to see. This one, there's no doubt in my mind, so I want you to watch this. Whether you believe in these things or not, I want you to at least see the video clips I'm going to show, because I remember this like it was yesterday, and it's changed. So, I'm talking about the Challenger explosion, and that happened in 1986. I was 15. I remember I was in 10th grade because it was the year my family moved, and I went to a different high school. I remember seeing the clip so much that I remember everybody got sick of it. I remember the cover of the newspapers. I remember this like it was yesterday, and I was watching a bunch of videos tonight. And as usual, I will always get recommendations. And I saw something about the space shuttle, and for some reason it just caught my eye. And when I watched it, I'm waiting for the certain part to happen, and it never happens. So I'm actually going to show two different clips. Now, obviously, with fair use, I can only show a little bit. I have posted the links in the description if you want to see the whole thing yourself. But one of them is going to show that the explosion didn't happen the way it originally did. And the second one is showing that the people that were on that shuttle are all still alive. To me, like I said, I remember this like it was yesterday. It was one of those, where were you when this certain thing happened? And you have it lodged in your memory. I'm 46 years old. So in 1986, I was 15. I was in 10th grade when this happened. And I remember it to this day, and I'm waiting for a certain part of the clip to happen. And it's there. So the Challenger does explode, but not the way it originally was. So let me show the clip, and like I said, it's due to fair use. I can only show a little bit. So there's two different clips I'm going to show, and hopefully you'll be able to see my pointer to point out. So if you're my age, around my age, and you were a teenager or an adult in 1986, you will remember this by heart because, back then there were not 500 channels, there was no internet, you had to watch these things on TV, there was only one camera that was filming it, and I remember it like it was yesterday. So you tell me. So let me just make sure first that you can actually see this on the screen. Give me a second. Okay, so you can see it on the screen. All right, so hopefully you'll be able to see my pointer. So let me first make this larger. Now I shut off the sound. Now you're seeing the Challenger taking off. Now, if you watch right here, if you remember this, if you're my age, before it exploded, you would see a little burst right here, and then there would be the explosion. Right around this part of the news, you would see something shoot out at the bottom of this part of the ship, causing the explosion. Now, as you watch this, this is live from the 1986, well, obviously not live now, but it was a live footage of the 1986 Space Shuttle Challenger disaster. And right around here is when all of a sudden you'd see sparks shoot out of here, and you'd see an explosion where it would go in two separate directions, and it's no longer there. The whole thing. Now watch. It happened way before this part because it was still in focus when you could see that happen. Now, as you watch this clip, you're going to see it just explodes. I remember this like yesterday. And there was that part. At this point, it would have already exploded from my remembrance as a child. And see, it just exploded. There is nothing that indicates what had happened. And there used to be, there's the part I remember, the two different sections, but the part where it shows what was happening has changed. So you would have to be my age or older to remember this. Now let me show you another clip that shows here, and I posted the link to this as well. These are the people that were on the space shuttle. They supposedly all died, because if you see that explosion, nobody's surviving that. Let me just show you the explosion again when it happens. Just quick. Now imagine if you're on that shuttle. Look at that. Are you telling me anybody would have survived that? Maybe one if there was anything. But here, watch this clip now. And they're going to show images of these people as older people. Now watch this. This was the first one. And I remember this stuff like it was yesterday. And look at this. And they're going to do a side-by-side comparison. Are you telling me that's not that person? Now they show more of them. They go to each one of them. Each one of them. Now, I can maybe say maybe one survived, but they show all of them as older people. And as you can see by the title of this, either it was a false flag hoax or a potential Mandela effect. So look at that. Look at the lazy eye here. See the lazy eye here? Now this she's a little bit harder to tell. But this, to me, is incredible. And I haven't talked about the Mandela effect for a while now, because I was like, you know what? Most of the stuff is all about brands of products. This is something, I could say, like, the brands of products, maybe it's because we didn't pay attention to them enough. We would not maybe remember how the logo exactly was. But this is something that was embedded in my brain when I was a kid, because we saw this over and over and over again. And these people we were told that all of these people died. Again, look at the lazy eye. Same thing here. So they're showing that these people actually survived till old age. So I would love to know what you think about this. Many people have said they thought that the Mandela effect is a hoax, it's a fraud. I've told people, it's incredible. You could see the jaw lines and everything. Now let's see this last one. And they got the people's names and everything. So I would love to know what you think, but I need this to be shared. Could they be photoshopped images? Who knows? But if anything, like I said, the beginning of this, and that's all I'm going to show, and I shouldn't put it silent because, I don't want to play any of the music. But as a kid, we saw this hundreds of times. And that space shuttle, before it blew, you see a little part of it at the bottom of the tail of that, while it's still in focus, explode. You see a little bit shoot out. And that's what all of a sudden caused the explosion of that ship. So either that was a hoax, or this is another part of the Mandela effect. It's one of the two. Either way, we're being lied to, or we have been lied to. And it's funny, Catherine said, look at the shape, that thing becomes like horns. I actually said it looks like a scorpion. I find this quite interesting. So I would love to know in the comments section, whether you're watching this live or you watch it later on, if you were old enough to remember this, tell me that I'm not making that up. I'm not even going to say I could swear. I remember it because we saw that clip probably for weeks. I remember when it happened. I was in computer class when it happened. And they actually stopped, the entire school stopped, and we had to talk about it, and they showed it on TV in the classroom. So this is not something where, maybe it could be a different type of logo, like the products you see. This is something that I remember to a T. And watching it, I'm like, okay, I'm waiting for that little bit where the bottom by the fin of the ship, I'm waiting for that part to shoot out a little bit before the explosion, and it doesn't happen. And then you saw that other clip where all of a sudden they're showing those pilots that were supposedly killed in that crash as older people. So, whether you believe in this stuff or not, if you're my age, I would love for somebody to explain why that's different now and why those people are still shown alive. Now, like I said, those could be photoshopped images. I don't know, I don't know anything about Photoshop. I think anybody that would do a trick like that is absolutely, disgusting to try and trick people. But that spaceship did not explode the way it showed on that video. And the other video that I showed the second clip on also shows this, so it's not like it was just a different camera angle. Because back then, they had like 13 to 15 channels. You know, you had MTV, so you had those channels, but I mean, they weren't covering news back then. It was the major networks. I don't even think Fox News was prevalent at that time. So I'm not going to make this video long because I want people to really check this, but I need you to share this. Have people watch that are of the older generation, of at least 40 years old and up, because they will remember this, because this is like the JFK moment, like the 9/11 moment. You don't forget where you are when that happened. So I remember this, and it did not happen the way all of a sudden it is. So I'd love to know what people think about that. So thank you very much for watching. Leave your comments. Share this video. Let other people watch it. Check out the other videos and subscribe to their channels if you want to. But yeah, this is an interesting time. This one, I had to stop watching it to make this video. That's how much it affected me by seeing it. So if you weren't alive before then, you'll never really know. But if you're my age or older, you know that was embedded in you, and you could see that this is different. So let me know in the comments section. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to have your trolls spayed or neutered.